Hello, and welcome to Monsters, Magic, and Mathrocks. My name is Anna, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this Tal'Dorei adventure. Let's meet our players.
I am Tegan. I'll be playing Jack.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'll be playing Bastille.
I'm Josh, and I play Nico Blue.
I'm Oz, and I play Atchsea Nimbus.
I also want to give a shout out to Joe for doing all of the incredible art that you see on your screen. Check him out at joerocksart.com, which we will also link in the description. Okay, who wants to do a brief recap of what happened last episode?
Not everybody at once.
Well, there was a lot of RP. We enlisted Fez. What are we calling him? Riss. Enlisted Riss to find out what happened with that banshee, to see if he could find her place of origin and put her to rest permanently. We then started making our way toward Turst because the Cobalt Reserve wants us to negotiate an alliance between a Goliath herd and a clan of gnolls. And the contact met up with Bastille in the middle of the night, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so now that's where we're on our way to negotiate an alliance.
Because so that they can...
negotiating is what we're so great at.
Well, they're going to have to work together in the first place because not one group is going to be able to take down the group of Ravagers.
Either they both fall or they work together.
All right. So, yes, you all did meet Akaksa in the morning. He introduced himself to everybody and began leading you up towards Turst along the road that I totally did not forget the name of. Oh, it's the Turstwood Way, maybe? Gosh, why is it so small? I can't read that.
It's like the Passwood or Pastwood or
Parchwood Way?
Parchwood, that's it.
Parchwood Way.
I wanted to say Paramore, and I didn't. I knew that wasn't it. Paramore Way.
It's yeah, there we go. Parchwood Way. Yes. Okay. So, Akaksa is pretty quiet. He goes towards the front and leads you all up the Parchwood Way. And as you get closer to Turst, he veers off to the west. Where's the picture again? There we go. He veers off towards the west. Northwest, like kind of towards the Dawn Mist Pines, that area. He does not bring you to the Dawn Mist Pines, but over in that area, that's where he veers off. And as you're traveling, he suddenly stops and he says, well, this is as far as I go. Just keep going that way. They'll find you.
Okay.
Will you be all right on your own?
I'll be here. I'll wait.
Okay.
Can you refresh my memory? What is the leader of this Goliath herd who we're supposed to talk to? What's their name?
Gardesk.
No, Gardesk.
Gardesk.
You leave him behind and keep on traveling. I'd say maybe like an hour into your journey, just going in the general direction that Akaksa was leading you already. What's everybody's passive perception, or if anybody would be looking around, you can make an active perception check if your character would be looking around.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
My D&D Beyond is not even pulled up. Hang on. I'm prepared.
We are so prepared.
Passive. Well, active.
Active.
Perception.
Yeah, if you don't
Dude.
think your character would be looking around, use your passive. If your character would be looking around for these people, then you can use
Yeah,
active.
I'm going to be using my active. I would be looking around.
Looking around, it was bad.
That was the wrong
It's all
dice.
bad.
12.
Same. 12.
Okay, so 2 12s, a 5. Bastille?
That is going to be a 14.
My
13.
passive is an 18, if that
I know.
helps anything.
Ah,
So you're all traveling forward and out from it's not like a forest, but there are some trees around, and stepping out from a tree is a large Goliath male, and he steps out into the middle of the road. And as you see him, you realize that there are a bunch of people circling around and closing you off. None have their weapons drawn, but they're all at the ready, like hands are on weapons, but relaxed. And he looks at you and says, something I can help you with.
Actually,
Who did we decide was going to be the front person for this?
just gonna ask.
would we know what they would respond better with? Like, someone being more forward or someone trying to persuade them?
You don't really know much about the Dawn Mist herd. The only people who would know about them didn't make really good history checks when you were trying to remember them. So you don't really know anything. Going into this pretty blind.
So Nico's posture would be to look non-threatening, so kind of hands like not like up, like I surrender, but just like up, like hey, I'm not a threat. Obviously unarmed, not nothing in my hands.
Yeah, if they're trying to come off as intimidating or anything, Bastille's just gonna be like,
They're not so much intimidating as you've entered their territory and they're stopping you to find out what the fuck you're doing here.
oh well. He'll just straight up tell them that we're looking to get their help.
Yeah, our help.
Yeah.
You see, the Cobalt Reserve has contacted us about possibly negotiating a treaty or an alliance between you and the what Knolls? What's the
Paw Knoll.
Dustpaw.
the Duskpaw Knolls to deal with a Ravager threat in the area. Apparently, the Ravagers in this region are quite active and large, and alone, your two groups will stand no chance. So we're here to broker a truce between you two.
You think you know my herd?
I don't know shit about your herd. We're here to do a job.
To be fair, the ones that we've seen have made alliances with betrayer gods. We are afraid you're going to come across something equally atrocious here. We do not know if they have that alliance, but we know that they are willing to attack you, and we don't want to run that risk of all of you getting hurt. It's better, temporarily at least, to know your mutual enemy and be able to back to your areas when you're ready. But I'd much rather you all not get hurt if we can risk just 5 minutes of being able to get along.
I appreciate your concern, but we don't work with the Dustpaw Knolls. We'll We've been fighting back the Ravagers, keeping them out of Turst for years now. Thus, the Dawn Mist Herd will keep doing that, and we will keep protecting Turst.
Can I ask why you don't get along with the Duskfall Gnolls? Have they done something specifically?
That, my friend, is a story. Why don't... You said the Cobalt Soul sent you?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, well... Why don't you come on back to camp? We'll get you some food, and, I'll tell you a little story. And, he relaxes. He is no longer, like, posturing and ready. He relaxes. The people around are still at the ready, but, there is just, like, a sense of relaxing. They're no longer, like, anticipating pulling their weapons, as opposed to they're just kind of more relaxed, but still ready for anything that happens. And Gardesk leads you probably about another 45 minutes down the road to their camp. And he sits you all around a fire. Is brought out to you. And as everybody has food, he looks up at all of you. Now that we're breaking bread and all, my name is Gardesk. I lead this herd. Who do I have the pleasure to be speaking with?
My name is Nico Blue. These are my friends, Jack, Bastille, and Adristea. We've recently become acquainted with each other and have begun our careers in adventuring.
Okay, well, so, the Dustpaw Gnolls. I'm assuming you all don't know anything about them or Turst, the history of such.
It would be a safe bet, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise I don't think you'd be asking. But,
It would be fair, though, that the Cobalt Soul does know the history, and if they think it is most advantageous to both groups to put aside your differences momentarily, just for a brief amount of time, to combat this threat. The intelligence that they've gathered, I believe, would suggest that it was to the well-being of both parties.
I will certainly take that into consideration. So the Ravagers sought the favor of the Demon Lord of Slaughter, and they went to the Turst Fields demanding a sacrifice. This was years ago, mind you.
This was the Ravagers, not the Gnolls, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ravagers.
Okay.
When they refused, the Ravagers transformed a number of the plains-dwelling hyenas into gnolls to attack the town. The gnolls were unleashed, and so the story goes. Anyway, I wasn't there. When the first gnoll drew blood, they began to weep. And then one after another, they began to weep until all of them were howling in their sorrow and fury. And these beings, though infused with demon ichor, turned against their creators to defend their the people of Turst. Don't know if I believe that so much. I do know that some people were killed by gnolls that day. There were casualties. And I don't know what made them change their minds or go against what they should have been doing, but I'm not so sure we can trust them, especially in a Ravager attack with the same group that created them to begin with. It might not be the same people, but it's the same group of Ravagers, the same clan.
Can I say something and you understand that I'm coming from a place of good intention without you taking offense.
I will certainly do my best.
What you just said is the equivalent of looking at a tiefling and saying, because of the bloodline you have, you're just as evil as the thing that created you.
Or looking
The-
at a drow and comparing them to the ones that followed law.
See, I have to disagree with you. It's the Dustpaw Knolls in general, because they were specifically created to attack the people of that town. They did attack the people of that town.
And
Well,
per your story, immediately showed remorse.
That's what people say. That's what they say. I don't know that I believe that.
How long ago was this?
About 30 years or so.
And there's
Then I would
no
think
one.
if they were... Go ahead, sorry.
Is there no one from your herd who was alive from that time who could testify to the happenings from that time?
I was alive at that time, but I wasn't there. I wasn't at Turst. None of us were at Turst. We were over here in the Dustmist Pines.
Maybe we make a little trip to Turst and find out the truth of things.
I mean, ask the neutral party. They're not going to lie to you.
And sometimes
There-
you just have to have faith in other people too. Have
the
faith that
people. Go ahead, continue.
have faith that the past does not define them.
The people of Turst, because don't think we haven't talked to them, are kind of split 50-50. Well, might be a little more in favor of the Knolls now, because over the last 30 years, they have been, for the most part, helping protect Turst. But I don't know why they stopped attacking and started helping. There's no real good reason for that, and it just seems fishy. I want everybody to roll persuasion checks for this conversation to see if we can't see if he decides to
That's
go
really
with you or not.
While we're rolling, did you just say for the last 50 years the Knolls have been helping?
30.
Okay.
30,
Let me make
the
sure I
last
got
30
the
years.
timeline correct. Okay.
If I said 50, I meant 30.
Okay.
You said 30.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I would
22.
like to have cast Enhance Ability at 3rd level. On Nico and Bass.
Okay.
Okay. What does that do? Add a D4?
Eagle Splendor, you have advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
Oh,
What are the
I rolled a natural 20 for a 25.
Nice.
the highest I got was a 17. The first roll would have been a 4. Thank you!
well,
I
don't
was like,
think,
this
don't think,
22.
don't think her yet. What are the what is that spell? Is it verbal, somatic, component?
I wanted to have before we got into the camp. Unfortunately, I raised my hand too late. But
Gotcha.
it is...
No, that's fine. If you wanted to do it before, how long does it last?
It's 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, don't worry. I'll let it go ahead. Well, no, you would have been with them. So yeah. So what are the things?
It's all
Verbals?
3, and I
All
wanted to grab
3.
both
No,
their
I mean
shoulders.
the spell. Does it have verbal, somatic, material? What are the?
All 3.
Oh, it has all 3. Okay.
With a fur or feather from a beast.
Okay. So I also need to know, were you just casting this, or were you going to try to do it stealthily? Because you're being escorted into a herd of people who don't know you, and you're casting a spell. So are you trying to hide this, or are you just doing it?
I was doing a subtle pep talk, so I guess I'll try and do it as quietly as possible.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll a sleight of hand to see if anybody notices you doing this.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
You can guidance yourself.
Well, I think guidance has stuff as well, so not really.
Yeah, not gonna do very well. That's a 7.
A 7.
Nice.
Okay.
You're like, we got
So,
this sport.
yeah. I would say, like, they notice, and as soon as you start to try to cast a spell, they're gonna, like, weapons are gonna come out, and they're gonna be like, stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm not very persuasive, so it would be it would be Josh.
I got a 19 for 22.
And Josh had a 25, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
It's
okay.
15.
So, he, takes a deep breath, looks at all of you. The Cobalt Soul's sending you, though. They know our history. They know I don't trust the Knolls, the Dustpaw Knolls. They must have some intel that means we're going to need it.
And
So,
what was it? The Cobalt Soul wanted us to create this alliance to protect Turst specifically, right?
Yeah, so the reminder from last session is that the Cobalt Soul got intel that the Ravager group is going to attack Turst, and that they sent you to get the Dawn Mist herd and the Dustpaw Knolls to work together with you to stop this attack. So you are going to the Dawn Mist herd in order to convince them to work with the Knolls because they don't like the Knolls, they don't trust the Knolls, and get them to work together to protect Turst from this group.
Okay, so from their instructions, would they are they telling us to make this alliance and then go on the offensive against the Ravagers, or to make this alliance and then defend the city from the attack?
They didn't really clarify which one, and I think mostly because they don't know when the Ravagers are going to attack Turst. So it's kind of like once you get this alliance, y'all figure out, are you going to go to Turst and protect it, or are you going to try to hunt down the Ravager group? Stuff like that.
We don't know whether they're there yet or not.
Yeah, you have no idea when they're making the attack.
Well, I'd say the Ravagers are going to expect one or the other. They're not going to expect both. So we set them up in the city. They're going to see one, but then the other one has the element of surprise.
And,
So,
I mean,
if I may sweeten the pot, what if we were to say you could keep any spoils from the battle that the Ravagers leave behind after we destroy their asses?
the only thing we ask for is if one of them is packing anything from one of these destroyer gods, that we're able to take it to the Cobalt Soul to have it destroyed. Like spell books or anything like that that could harm your people.
and the Dustpaw Knolls gave you permission to set aside all of the spoils.
The Cobalt Soul brought us in to negotiate this treaty. Therefore, we have the authority to make this deal. If they don't like it, they can just not like it. But they're in.
All right. Yeah, well, we don't want anything to happen to Churchfields, so yeah, we'll help. We've actually noticed some Ravager activity on our scouts on the east side of the town have noticed them gathering. That was yesterday, so they haven't started attacking yet. I don't know we do have people stationed around Turst, close by, so that if the attack happens, word can be sent to us. So, I guess let me gather the herd and get all the fighters, and we'll start heading over in that direction.
Do you know where the Ravagers make their camp?
They're nomadic. They kind of all over. They don't have we have a permanent camp right now. They have a portable camp. So they make it wherever they decide. They don't have a permanent base of operations. My scouts noticed them gathering to the east of Turst, a little too close for comfort. We've already been on standby. That's how we were able to encounter you so far away from our camp, is we were already kind of waiting to head on over there.
My thought is once we merge the two parties, is to go on the offensive and head off this group of Ravagers before they get to Turst to prevent any civilian casualties.
That would probably be best. I think we should meet up with the Knolls, and we'll decide. We will help. My herd will not fight alongside them, so I think we should come at opposite sides. I don't mean we're not gonna attack them. I don't mean it that way. I just mean we're not gonna mix together and fight together. I don't think I could convince my herd to do that. But we could come from one side and them from the other, meet in the middle.
That's fair.
And flanking as a strategy is often quite effective, as I understand. At some point in the battle, I do think it is likely that you will be fighting back to back with some of the Duskpaw Knolls.
If they try anything, we're there. But
Actually, that I disagree with, because Grid the Great, she don't go into battle. She hangs back to issue her commands. We gotta take her out. And that's where I think y'all should be. We understand, eventually we are going to be fighting together. We're just not going to fight together for the whole fight. We're not going to join teams and go in at them. We'll flank, and we'll meet in the middle. And when we meet in the middle, we'll grin and bear it. But I think y'all should take out Grud.
well, we can do that, but can you do us a favor? And when you all get into town, if anyone has cellars, make sure they get down low. That way they are out of sight and they are away from harm's way, and you all don't have to worry about the citizens.
The citizens have we warned them, my scouts. They have warned them that there are Ravagers gathering on the east, so they're
They're at least aware.
they're aware. Yeah, they're aware. I can have somebody send a message to one of my scouts to have them go ahead and head down into the cellars when we head over there, so that if it flows into the city. But I'll wait until we're close. They're looking out. If they start attacking, they'll send the alarm and get everybody taken care of.
Good. Then I guess we know what we're doing, and sorry to ask it of you. I know it's not going to be an easy thing to do for you or your herd, but I think the people of Turst will greatly appreciate everyone setting aside differences for at least a little bit to help them out.
Yeah, well, Turst is necessary for the goods from Whitestone making its way down. You get rid of Turst, you get rid of all the stuff that comes from there. You get rid of the trade. So we'll do what we can. Let me gather my herd, and then when we're ready, we'll meet up with the Dustpaw. And he stands up and sets his finished bowl of whatever to the side and heads out to get the fighters of the herd together. All of the herd can fight. They do have designated fighters that go out and do this while the rest maintain their camp. So he's going to get them all together. And y'all are free to chat. There are people around, but nobody's like watching you. So it's not like somebody's sitting and listening to you, but there are people like scurrying around. Like you're in the middle of the camp at a communal fire. So
does anybody seem like especially against this? Is anybody like raising a stink or look super apprehensive or anything?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so you did notice that as you were talking, because there were a lot of people gathered around, as you were talking, there were people who looked not happy to be joining up with the Dustpaw Gnolls, but they also looked like they would, whatever Gardes decides, they will do what he says. Like, they look like they're going to obey what he tells them to do. So although they're not happy about it, they are going to do what he says.
And this Gardes guy seems trustworthy?
Make an insight check.
I'm going, where is it? 22.
22. Yes, you do. You do get the impression that although Gardesk does not like the Dustpaw Gnolls, he's not going to do anything to them unless they do something to him. So he's not going to use this attack as an opportunity to attack them unless they attack him.
Fair.
And did the Cobalt Soul contact the Dustpaw Gnolls already?
Yeah, that's how you met Akaksa, because he was sent to intercept you. Yeah,
and he is one of the Dustpaws, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Are there any kids running around this area?
Yeah, there are kids. This is a community. It was originally, I believe you got this last time in your history check, but it was originally a Goliath herd. It now is not just Goliaths. There are a large number of Goliaths, but there are elves, there's orcs, there's half orcs, there's halfling. No, like there's a smattering of everybody here. It's they are just overwhelmingly Goliath.
Bastile's going to cast Minor Illusion and create a very tiny, like, parade of animals of varying different species and have them kind of run across the dirt like they're just in a stampede to see if he could get the kids to chase them.
Yeah, let's see. So there is a very small group of children, but they're like preteen, teen,
Oh no!
12 to 13. So they watch the stampede. They look over at you like, fuck. And then they turn their backs and go back to chatting, and now you get the distinct impression they are making fun of you.
He's gonna turn the Minor Illusion into an owlbear. And he's gonna have it like the size of a very small owlbear. And he's gonna have one of them like reach over like it's gonna grab its leg from the behind. As convincing as it can be.
Okay, let's see.
try to scare them.
Yeah, no. They look and see the illusion change and watch it come towards them, and then they immediately just ignore it. They are not phased by this illusion at all.
And he's like, emo kids, I could get behind that. They're in that stage where they all think they're cool.
Yeah.
In the meantime, one of them looks like they're just a nerd.
Alright, anything you all want to talk about or do before the herd is ready and you head off to meet Akaksa?
What was the Gardesk? Is that the guy's name?
Yes.
I would like to ask him what he knows about this Gerd, the leader of the Ravagers.
Grud.
Grud
the Great.
And get any kind of intelligence he has on Grud the Great.
So, Grud the Great is a half-elf, half-dragon blood Ravager. She's taken over in like the last 5 years by killing the original person, and under her the Ravager group seems a lot more organized, but they also seem a lot more like focused. Before they were just attacking willy-nilly just to get goods and stuff to survive, and although Gardesk doesn't know what she's up to, it feels purposeful. Like the things she's doing feels like they're leading to something. He just doesn't know what they are. So she is much more organized and focused and driving them to a some goal that he is unaware of.
Does he know, does she have like a personal guard or anything? Does he have that much information?
Yeah, so he does tell you that she hangs back in order to issue commands. So, like, when she sends them out to fight, she will be hanging back to issue commands. And that there are usually people with her. It is not just her who is issuing these commands. The number of people with her varies. Sometimes it's, 3 people, sometimes it's 6 people, so not entirely sure how many people are going to be around her, but there's always a small group.
Do they know how she fights?
Specifically, can she sling some spells, or is she more of a hands-on type of fighter?
Well, I've never seen her doing any spells, but there's always somebody with spells nearby. In her personal guard, there is always at least one magic slinger. She fights more with a big ass sword.
So, someone that I need to wrestle with.
Should we add one more point? Do we swing all the way around in a third group?
Yeah, your group is going to go wherever she's at. So we, hopefully, ideally, we find them before they've attacked. Wherever she is where you all attack. So say she's on the east side, which seems likely that would be at the back if they're going towards Turst. She would be set up on the east side. So if she's over there, we'll attack from the north, Knowles can come from the south, and you all are going to come in from the east.
If numbers are an issue, do Do you and the Knolls have a second in command?
I don't know anything about the Knolls. I don't know what they got. I have a structure of people. If I go down, there's somebody else who takes over. If they go down, there's somebody else. There's a system. Yeah.
And we can ask our contact with the Duskpaws what their situation is, but I imagine it's similar to yours. Yeah, I think that's about all the information that we require from y'all. I just want to say that I appreciate you agreeing to this. Things go our way, we can save a lot of lives.
Yeah. Anything else you all want to do before you meet up and start heading back towards Akakska?
Nope.
Okay, so the herd, they gather up all the fighters, they meet with you, and they start heading back the way you came. Akaksa is right where you left, and as you're approaching, is a little surprised, was like, you convinced them. I think you'd be able to.
It did take a little doing. We, and by we I mean I, may have overstepped the bounds a little bit. I cut a deal. Shit, I've spaced on the fucking name of the herd.
Dawn Mist.
Dawn Mist. The Dawn Mist herd is going to keep the spoils from this battle. Whatever the Ravagers drop, they get to keep, minus any magical things that might point to the Betrayer gods. That would pertain to another case that we're working on.
Akakska kind of shrugs and don't bother me, but we'll see what the rest of the Dustpaws think.
That, sir, is the cost of doing business.
Right, so can't imagine they're gonna want to come back with me to the Dustpaws. So why don't I run along to them and we will meet you as you're heading towards Turst. I guess that's where you're going, right? You heading towards Turst? Right. Alright, so I will meet you before you get into Turst, and we can chat there. So they don't have to deal with all of us.
Gardesk, he said the Ravagers are somewhat east of Turst, so let's meet like half a mile to a mile east of Turst. We'll set up I guess did they seem open to having a joint camp? Because they didn't say they wouldn't camp together. If they're not going to fight together, I can't imagine they're going to camp together. But they gotta get together to talk and to plan the fucking strategy.
They did not say. So Akasha says, I'll get my group. We'll set up east-ish, I guess, of Turst. Well, southeast of Turst, and we'll meet you. I'll find you as you all make your way.
I would say if you see if the herd is already there, maybe just like a few hundred yards east of where they are, and when we need to confer to strategize, we can meet somewhere in the middle with the leadership of the two groups.
Yeah, we'll be there first, so just don't. If they don't want to camp by us, they don't need to camp by us. That's fine.
I respect your confidence.
Yeah, we're already over there, so we will be there first. But we don't really have leaders, but we'll elect some people to speak, and we'll meet like in between the two camps. We'll make sure the camps are far enough away. We'll try to keep our distance. We know a lot of people don't really like us that much, but we're just trying to protect Turst. So
And that's
it's
fair.
fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna head out and I'll get my herd. We'll get our camp going, and I will meet you before you get to our camp, so you all can stop and we'll figure out strategizing.
All right then.
All right.
And he takes off, heading towards Turst. So you probably have about 2 hours or so of trekking to make it to an area where the Dawn Mist herd can do a temporary camp that's close to the knolls, and you can do all of the strategizing. Is there anything you all want to do during that time? Any conversations or things you would like to do as you are heading to meet up with the Duskpaw Knolls southeast of the city?
I'd say talk a little bit of strategy with what information we know about Grud. Better than us walking into the marsh and trying to take down a banshee and several undead
Yeah.
with little information.
For that, I was thinking maybe we should wait until we get, representatives from both groups together. Because depending how many guards Grud has, we might need some backup because there's only 4 of us. And if it's Grud and then like 5 guards, that could go real bad real fast.
Especially with the magic users.
And we don't know. She might have a healer there, so...
And
Probably a good idea.
yeah.
So if we could get us 4 and a representative from each group, from the Duskpaw and the Dawn Mist, I think that's probably the way to go if we can get both sides to agree to that. That would be like what our group is talking about as we're walking.
Okay.
Could we ask them? Are they traveling with us on their way there?
You're traveling with the Dawn Mist herd, yeah.
Can I ask Gardesk about that?
To get one representative from the herd to fight with you?
Yeah.
I slap Bastille. Guidance.
Well, yeah, sure. I'm sure we can have one of us help you out. Yeah. You might also see if maybe the Knolls will send somebody instead. Something like that.
Well, we figured maybe if we could have one of each, that way they kind of one on one side and then one on the other. That way, if they try to run, they're pushing towards the other group.
Alright, no promises, but I will see if I can find somebody who could work that closely with one of the Duskpaws for as long as you'll need.
To clarify,
We appreciate it.
They would be working with us, not with the Duskpaws. There will just be a Duskpaw present, but they'll be working with us.
I mean, that's just wording. They're still working with the Duskpaw. I'll look into it. See what I can do.
Okay.
Our goal is to make more friends today.
Jack is the best.
He's adorable.
I mean, I have guidance. I can ask one of them for you.
I mean, if you want to try to broach the subject, sure, you can. Let's see. And he looks around, and there's a female Goliath not too far away, and you can ask her. She's out of everybody in eyesight. She's more likely to say yes. Give me a second to Google Goliath name generator. I'll give you a name. Holy fuck? What is Arden's names?
That sounds about right.
Why? Why Goliath names? Why?
Are they like all Scandinavian names that are super hard to pronounce?
This is the easiest one on the current list it's giving me. Kevu, Lone Leaper, Kolakakumi.
Oh boy.
Kevu works.
Kevu.
I love it.
Hey,
That's an amazing name.
Well, I've already switched the thing, so let me see if I can get that back. Kevu.
That's an interesting fucking...
Yeah. Of course, it's not giving me Kevu back. Damn it.
Ah,
It was Kevu Kolakakumi, right? Or Kova
Something like
Kakumi.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, Kevu Kova Kakumi. Dude, that's a freaking amazing name.
There was a middle name, though, like Lawn Sweeper or something like that. God damn it. Bring it back. Give it back to me. Can I go back? No, I can't go back. Damn it. Alright, I will see if I can't find it.
That last name is badass.
Hey,
Kevu Kakumi.
Yes. That is
was it?
badass. Kova Kakumi.
Kobakakumi. Okay, I'll see if I can't find that later. I'll just keep going through the generator. So yeah, he's like, that's Kevu over there. You can ask her.
Cool.
What does Kevu look like?
God damn it! I knew you were gonna.
You knew he was gonna ask.
Look, all you gotta say, does she look fierce, pretty, or both?
Well, like she's a Goliath, because you Google Goliath's name.
Yeah, she is a Goliath. Yes.
Tattoos, piercing. Is she an
So-
archer? Is she what we like?
All right. So she is carrying a giant like pickaxe looking thing over her shoulder. Half of her hair is shaved, the other half is swept to the side and is like bright pink with some feathers weaved into it.
She's a half Goliath.
She-
Okay.
Yeah.
Goliath are
right.
hairless, so she's half Goliath.
Yeah.
Nice.
She has black war paint painted on her, so you can see it on her face and then in the bits of her torso that are exposed from her clothing. And she has a couple of tattoos. She's got one by her eye. It just looks like circles and lines connected. You don't really know the significance of it. And then she has a paw print on her chest that you can see peeking through her clothing. And she has her lip pierced.
Mommy?
And the pickaxe, does it appear to be made out of metal or is it made out of stone? The blade.
Metal, I think.
Okay.
I'll
That's
give
cheap.
y'all a picture. We cannot use this in the game, but this is the picture I'm using to describe her. Oh, why did it post it twice? That was dumb.
Mommy.
There you go.
Yes, very much so.
Look,
Yeah.
it's moments like that where I know I'm not straight.
Absolutely.
Help.
Pretty
Well,
metal.
Can
Love
you
it.
send that to me on Facebook? Because I can't.
Oh,
look in the
yeah.
Discord chat will mess up my OBS.
If Facebook will load.
The Bastille's gonna be like,
just get Fat Bastille's back. Alright.
uh.
Look, your characters can't fall in love with my characters every campaign.
No! It's just he's used to being like the sturdiest one in the room. So when it registers to him that someone could and would hand him his ass. He's just like,
How tall is Bastille again?
Bastille is 6'5".
She's taller than he is.
He's like,
Not by a lot.
Good pat.
like, he's like, you know that moment where you realize you're not the tallest one in the room anymore?
You're
Yes.
really not in this herd. It's a herd of Goliaths and half Goliaths mostly. They are like, 6 foot is short amongst them. So
He's
you are
probably
not
been
the tallest, yeah. Like
he's probably been having a crisis this whole time.
Gardesk is like real close to 7 feet, like 6'10" or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bastille's
he's
He's
been
quite
adjusting
small.
her
I
neck.
think, right?
She's been looking up the entire time.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know,
know what the heights for Goliaths are, but like they're all very tall. You are not the tallest one here.
Before you came along, I would say no, because I was usually on the taller end of things. But after I met you, yes, I do know what that feeling is. Just pats it back. It's okay. You get used to it.
Bass, close your mouth. You're-
Warmer is the size of my head. If I do this wrong, she'll kill me.
we're all thinking it,
That's
just don't be
exciting.
so obvious.
It's not exciting.
He's probably gonna come across as he's flustered, but he's over here like, if I say one wrong word and offend this woman, the whole hammer is gonna just cave my head in. So he's more just like, don't say something that's gonna get you murdered.
If you want, I can go talk to her for you. But
No,
we'll wait
I'm-
till after the battle when the adrenaline's a little bit higher.
I'm not. No.
Do it.
I just
It's
don't
all-
want to
it's all
offend
right.
somebody that's gonna kill me.
Well, I'll do the talking. It's fine.
I
You gotta do is hang back and look pretty.
I mean, he does that pretty well, but
My God, I'm gonna go just ask her if she doesn't mind helping us. He's gonna make his way past all the people that are freakishly taller than he is. Like, they're like, ma'am, I believe Gardes called you Kevu, right? I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Kevu, yeah, that's correct.
We need help in taking down Grud. We're going to be trying to come around through the back, but considering that her guards may be 3 to 6, there's only 4 of us. So we're going to need some help. Is there any chance that we could ask you for it?
There'll be a
I'm
no there
sure.
too. There'll be a no.
Let me...
it's good.
I mean,
Nico.
I'm sure I could. And if it's not out of your realm, then I'll just join my herd.
That's fair. The only problem we came across is we were going to ask for one of each so that we were not thinning both of your numbers.
And you see her straighten a little.
I understand I'm asking a lot from you. It's a monumental question considering everything that your herd feels that they can't trust them about. And that's fair. But considering they wouldn't register that you two would work together, it would be at both of your advantage.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage, because that didn't consider that. That's pretty clever.
Oh, so close. That guidance gives me advantage, right?
No, guidance gives you a D4, so you're getting advantage
Roll a
because
D4.
I really liked that you used a dawn mist and a dust pall working together would throw off Grud. That's really clever. That's a good argument. So I'm giving you an advantage, and then guidance gives you a D4 on top of that.
That's a 19.
Okay. You
Bless.
see her kind of chew on her lip a little and fuck it, fine. Yeah. You got my hammer.
Fantastic. It'd be hilarious to just watch you step around a corner, see one of them scream, and then immediately stop.
That's usually what my enemies do.
Hilarious. You got a name for the hammer? I'm so curious.
It's new, so no, not yet. Maybe I'll name it after the first person I kill with it.
Fan-fucking-tastic. That'd be great. Guarantee you that thing would have been able to go straight through my head. It's gonna go through theirs, no problem.
Yeah, I'm not concerned.
Thank you. And I'll make sure that we come back and talk to you before we leave, so that way we're all able to meet up and then head out.
Sure hope so, or you might leave without me.
Thanks. And he'll walk back to the group and he's like, I didn't die.
Good job. Sure.
You did it.
I know how to talk war strategy.
I swear she was making eyes at you.
No. No.
I think maybe she was, Bass.
Allow me to explain. No. Look, Ashley has a crush. Bastille does not. I'm the one that's flustered. Because I'm like, there's a tall lady in the room. Hello?
You mean Lady Domitresk?
Look. Don't out me like that, man.
Anything else you would like to do before you meet up and have your strategy session with the herd and the gnolls?
No.
I would like to pull Adra aside
Oh.
momentarily. And just say, if we're going into battle, I'd like you to know I can in good conscience go without knowing that I lied to you.
How's that?
I do have a voice in my head. It's not a problem. Just needed to venture out on my own.
If you need any help working through the things that it says to you, I'm here.
Thank you.
I know we have some common ground that we will spend time in the Feywild. And even if it's just to talk about home again. For you, home.
Thank you.
Of course.
And that's all.
Okay. So, you travel, and as you get close to like the agreed upon area, Akaxa meets up with you again and kind of tells you like, hey, we're over here, maybe the herd can go here, and then there's a nice big space between us. The herd goes ahead and starts getting settled, and Gardesk, along with 3 other representatives of the herd, including Kebu, comes with you to meet the representatives of the Dustpaw Gnolls. So, You step forward. This is going to be like the strategy session. I am terrible at strategy, so as opposed to like trying to RP this because these people know what the fuck they're doing and I do not. Let's just go over like what you think you would like to do. What's the general plan?
We'll
We can
leave.
RP a little if you get ideas, but
We'll leave them to their planning to protect the city. I believe that, like you said, they're gonna know what they're doing. I'm more concerned about how we're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
you're muted.
Thank you. Just from like a strategy point, if there's a point somewhere that the Ravagers will have to pass through, like an area where there's maybe 2 hills and they'll be passing between them, maybe the groups from each hill can come, like almost like a valley or a large gully or something that they have to go through. That would be a good like ambush spot for the 2 groups to charge down those hills. And then our group should wait for the battle to be going for a little bit before we sneak around.
Will be the splinter group that needs to get around back.
But yeah, to sneak through while Grud is watching the battle, I think would be a lot easier than trying to get there before the battle starts.
Okay. So you would know, just being in the area, that this is just grasslands. There's really nowhere to plant an ambush.
There's no like
Jack
wooded
had time.
areas that we could stash one of the herd or the gnolls.
Jack have time to have hidden enough holes for people?
At least as far as our group is concerned, I have the ability to do a tiny hut.
I'd say our best bet would probably be, if they're gonna strike, we need to get a head start on getting out there. Because if we can take our time, sneak around, make it look like we're just a group leaving Turst, make sure we hide the Dusk Knoll and the Goliath, like a caravan or something, and act like we're following the rest of the road out. There may be a chance that once we get maybe a ways down Alabaster Trail, we can cut back around. May take a little bit, but
My other thought.
The Ravagers are camped somewhere near Dawnmist Pines, somewhere in there.
they're to the east, towards the rest of Parchwood.
Okay.
Wait,
I was thinking they were to the west or to the east. See, Parchwood is kind of northeast of Turst Fields. And I can't imagine they're camped in the open.
Little map. Oh, no, that is not what I wanted.
If we can hide in plain sight, which I have a spell that we should be able to do, it takes roughly 10 minutes for me to get it up. But you can't see us. They can't enter the dome, they can't see the dome. But we can see out of it.
that'd be a good idea.
I can fit all of us, and I can fit... Wait a second. I can fit 9 total, including myself. Oh, but, half Goliath. What is she considered?
Probably large. I don't know. I've never created a half Goliath.
I forgot what Grog was.
Grog was
Grog
like
is-
8 feet tall. He was big.
I know.
Yeah,
But
she's
She's a half Goliath.
she's like 6'8". So I mean, she's
About my height.
yeah,
so
she's close to
considered
Bastille.
medium?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so then she'd still be able to fit into it. So we could have all of us, the assassin squad, in that zone and wait for them to pass us, and
Okay.
then strike from behind, since that's where she stays.
Yeah, that would work.
So, looking at the map again, it does look like there's some part of the mountains, some hilly area right outside of Turst. So yes, you could find an ambush point like between two hills or two areas, probably. Assuming they go that way. I'm gonna give you. So give me a second. Every
Okay.
The purple is you. The red is the Ravagers. Why did it not? Oh, that is not what I wanted. Sorry, babe. That's the wrong one. That was my map without the... There we go. So there is like a little hilly area. You could set up an ambush point. When you were talking to the Gardesk earlier, he suggested the Goliath circling around Turst and then coming from the north and having the gnolls continue up and attacking from the south. And then that would leave y'all to go around and attack from the east as they're moving west towards Turst.
Okay, so come in behind.
So scale-wise, you have us in the purple on the other side of the road. I'm assuming that we'd be much closer than that.
That is where Akaksa stops you, so that you're not too close to them.
So where is the hill? Is it on the north side of the Parchwood Way road? That's right there?
If you look where the arrow is, that's there. It looks like there's some hilly terrain right there.
Okay.
So I will give you that. Yes, they're between the Dawn Mist and the Dustpaws. They inform you of an area that there's like a little trail between two hills that the Ravagers would be likely to take to get to Turst from where they're at currently.
Okay, so like if there's not hills, there's not two hills. Like maybe but there are two hills. You said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the forest is right there too. We come down a hill and then through the forest. So.
Yeah, if you do the two hills, what the Gardesk would say, okay, we will go and hide up in the forest. And then keep an eye on the hill. When they pass through, they will circle around to the east and come up behind. Whereas the Dustpaw can circle around the hill, not like the thing, but they'll circle around the hill and go from the west, so that they're
pincered,
stuck between the hills. Yes,
they're pincered. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad plan.
It's not. It would work. It could work.
You can put the hut in the forest, and then when the battle starts, we can sneak out and around to the back of their formation where Grud is.
As long as she's passed by us as well, we should be safe to get her. Yes.
Put the hut right on the edge of the forest so we can see everything.
Exactly. And it'll last for 8 hours.
Would Pass Without a Trace help us here as well as soon as the hut drops?
I would think so.
Because that lasts for an hour,
they
right?
can't detect us within the. They can't detect us within the hut. But as soon as the hut drops, we're exposed.
So they pass by, the battle starts, Wait for the battle to get going, for Grud to be really focused. Pass without a trace, drop the hut, we move into position.
Yes.
Exactly. The head will also drop if I step out of it. So as soon as we're ready, we can move. And pass it without a trace can be activated. Or before
Just
we...
pass without a trace before we step foot out of that hut.
Exactly.
I think we have
And
a
then
plan.
that-
Holy shit.
We have a plan.
This
Now, how
is
long
the
this
first
plan
D&D
work?
campaign where we have a legit plan.
Yeah, no, that's about right for me too. We usually don't get that far to making actual plans.
Our plan is usually like, get them!
Yeah.
As far as
Extra hours too.
as far as when we get in, I'm going to need to make sure that I give you flanking and that you all have access to use me as a wall if you need to. I don't want what happened before to happen again.
I know.
As far as that goes, we should identify any healers that she might have and take that one out first. So that will,
Spellcasters and healers.
that it'll be if she has a healer, that's going to be my target. I will sneak up and try to take them down in a surprise
Jack and I can look for any magic users.
and point them out. Yeah.
I will
I'll
do best at controlling someone.
I'd say if you can pin Grud before Grud can move and keep her back for a while at least, that means that I can assist in taking at least one or two magic users out before I'm occupied with that.
If we can use, we have a couple of spells that we can use in tandem. If Jack uses her, it's the ground one.
The
Or-
vine.
I
The vine.
have the restraining vines.
That would probably keep her in place for a while. And I have that cloud of daggers that seems to work pretty well. And if she's stuck there, then she'll be dealing with a lot of
The
Pricks
little
and-
ones.
pokes. I can't believe we actually have a strategy.
Like a legitimately viable one. It's
But you know what this means. It's all going to come down to really good rolls.
yep. It's we have a good plan. That means we're going to be rolling
Well-
shit.
Here's the other thing. We're planning for just us four.
It's
We have two others. That means that there is a second potential barbarian, and then whatever the Duskpaw Knoll that we have could also be another. We could ask if they have a rogue, and see if that rogue is willing to help,
healer.
or a healer. Yeah. Then
That'd be
we'll
helpful.
have two tanks, a healer, two magic slingers, and a rogue. Sounds like the start of a really bad bar joke.
It really does.
All right.
Yeah.
So as your strategy comes to a halt, Gardesk will look at you and say, well, I guess this is where we part ways. I'll take my herd to the north. We'll attack from there. Wait for our signal, then head for the main tent. That's where you'll find Grud the Great. Take her out, and the others should disperse.
You'll
At
do
least
our
for a
best.
little while. All right, so Gardesk goes back with his herd. They are going to camp there for the night, but they're going to head off first thing in the morning. The Duskpaw as well are going to camp there, but they are going to head off and get in their position in the morning. You all are welcome to stay wherever you want. Kavu and Akaksa are going to stay with you for the night so that they can go with you first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Does it seem like they are getting along okay? Like they're not going to be chummy, but it's not about to come to blows at any point.
They're ignoring each other. More Kavu is ignoring Akaksa than Akaksa ignoring Kavu. But she doesn't look put off by Akaksa. We obviously do not have time to go into a battle right now, and I have to create a battle map. So we're going to go ahead and... Yes, so we're going to go ahead and end this here. All right, that's going to conclude today's session. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time.